Good morning, VONews.tv viewers. Again, we have a special guest here for you. Today we have Pixote Hunt, who is a director and art director of animation. Good morning, Pixote. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here.
Oh, we're excited to have you here because one of the things our VO community needs to know is what is important to animators when it comes to voiceover. But first I want to hear a little bit of how you came into the business.
I was one of those children who loved animation, and it was a draw. I think animation called me. So I think since I was 6 years old, I've always wanted to work for Disney. Disney pictures were always very special to me, and it was great to see that dream come true.
That's awesome. Now, were you one of those kids on Saturday morning that sat in front of the television?
Not only Saturday morning, anytime there was animation on television. Yeah.
And did you find that your parents encouraged you on that? Because sometimes when you say you want to do animation or something in the entertainment business, parents aren't really supportive. Were your parents very supportive in that dream?
My father was probably the most worried. I think he said, someday you need to get a real job. And my mother was always very supportive. So I listened to my mom.
I think most of us do. So tell me a little bit about some of the projects you did. I noticed that you've done plenty of things for Disney, one of them being Fantasia 2000.
Right. Rescuers Down Under, I art directed. I was a director and art director on The Page Master. So several films, both inside and outside of Disney.
And what are the things you look for when you're looking for a voiceover actor or actress?
Well, because the personality is a team effort. We don't have an actor in front of a camera. We listen to a voice that has a lot of personalities, lots of highs and lows that we can hang on to and draw to. We record the voices first, then we listen to those voices for entertainment aspects, and that we can find a special way this character pronounces a phrase different than another one, and we draw on that, literally.
I wish it would snow in Monrovia. I wish it would snow in Monrovia. It'll be fun, out of sight, even if only for a night. If it would snow in Monrovia. If it would snow in Monrovia.
Now, how important is it for a voiceover artist to know how to sing?
The more tools you come to the animation table with, the better. Because sometimes a character may not have to sing an aria perfectly, but will have to sing something, hum a little tune, a theme song. So having that training, it's a really good idea.
What do you do in the case of somebody who is not exactly what you thought they were going to sound like? How do you work around that?
Well, if the voice is good, you're talking about voice work as opposed to singing work?
Voice work, yes.
All right. So the voices are pretty close to what we want. When we go to another country, obviously we have to replace those voices. But the voice work goes in front of a group of people. Not only me as the director, I sit with the producer, and we kind of see the entertainment aspect of it, and if this is the right voice for that character. So we're pretty close.
So you've kind of perfected it somewhat when you're listening to the auditions.
When we're listening to the auditions, then we actually do a storyboard. If we have the audition tape, sometimes we take that voice and put it on the storyboard and sync it up to see, all right, that's working, or we need to kind of change things around a little.
And do you ever do the voices yourself?
Never. I prefer to be behind this camera right there, not in front.
Now, you did a very special project this last season for Christmas for Fellowship Monrovia, which is Fellowship Productions. But you did it in what is a crazy amount of time. When did you start the production, and how long did it take you to finish it?
We had approximately 10 weeks to do 11 minutes of animation, but I prefer to call it an illustration with some animation in it, because with only 10 weeks, that's what we can do. But there were a small group of us, you being part of the team, that really just poured our heart into something very special for Monrovia.
Well, I got to let our audience know this project, it was called Miracle on Myrtle. It was absolutely awesome. Peugeot worked night and day to get this done. We had Nikki Almanza as the voice of Jasmine.
Matt. What? Why are you yelling at me, Jasmine? Because I've been calling your name for the past 5 minutes. Oh.
I had the privilege of being Matt, and we had Pastor Albert Tate and also the mayor.
Sorry I couldn't help. Think about that candy spur idea, though. That I can help with.
I thought that was awesome. Was that part of the story, or is that something that was added?
That was part of the story, and she was so supportive, and she gave me her number, said if you needed me to come and do retakes or anything like that, just let me know. That was great. It was wonderful.
Now, how often do you use people that are not voiceover trained in your animation?
Not too often. Once in a while we hear a voice of a person that probably doesn't have a lot of training, but they have a great voice. So it can happen, but it's usually not the normal way to enter into animation.
Well, there you go. So if you're looking into getting into voiceover, again, training is important. If you can wrap up a voiceover personality in one word of what you're looking for most when you're doing your animation, what one word would that be?
Variety.
Awesome. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. Again, the more voices that you have, the more characters you have, the more training you have to add inflections or accents to your voice or singing, the more work is available to voiceover artists.
And how would somebody who's interested in going in voiceover, I think anybody in voiceover, all of us have our bucket list of we want to be with Disney someday. How would you suggest that they go about training or reaching that goal?
Well, by studying with you. That's one great way. And by studying voice work or singing work or music work, but to get into a Disney, to get into a studio, studios are very, very peculiar about how they accept tapes. We accept tapes through an agent. We can't solicit the director or the producer directly, so it has to go through that kind of route to get in.
That's good to know, because I know there's a lot of people who just go, I can do voices, and all of a sudden they think they're going to be the next Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse.
And sometimes, I'm not going to say that doesn't happen, that a director or producer hears a great voice and introduces them into animation that way, but it's not the normal way. It comes with training and hard work.
Now, you have said that you don't do the voice work. If anyone had come to you, let's say one of the other directors on the movie, and said, Peugeot, we really like your voice. We want you to be the voice of thus and so. Would you agree to it?
I think for a story reel, sometimes we all come in and pitch in to do that. But nope, that's just not my calling. Thank you very much.
So it's important to know your calling in life.
It is for me. Because that's what you excel at, that's what you enjoy the most, and that's how you can contribute to a great project.
Peugeot, what is I know all your projects are special to you, but what's the one that stands out in your mind as one that gave you something that you will relish forever?
I think when I was able to go to South Africa, I went to Soweto, and we were working on another Fantasia, which was a world of music, way of presenting new music to the world, or enjoying new music. And when I was down there, I think I saw the power of this medium and how it could touch people's lives. We told a quite charming story of children with the backdrop of Soweto.
Nice. That's what I love. That was one of the reasons why I thought about going into animation. I know as a child coming up from a very hard background that watching television and those cartoons, it offered me an escape. So in a way, that's a good feeling that animation can do that, is there's many people out there in the world, not only that they can have an escape, but you can actually learn from animation now.
We can definitely enlighten people to someone else's journey, and from that, I think open doors will happen, and people are willing to be more tolerant with other people, more accepting of other people, more loving of other people. And animation is this great medium that tends to break down walls.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And that's a great way to put it, is a journey. So where is your journey leading you to now?
The journey is well, I'm probably pretty fortunate and very blessed to still be involved in animation. I'm directing some shorts. It's been wonderful.
Well, there you go. We've had a great time talking to Pixote. I'm really looking forward to his work. I've seen it. It is awesome. Go online and look for his work and find out all about him. Follow his career, because you're going to find that whatever he's worked on, you're going to absolutely enjoy. I know I have. Thank you very much for the interview today.
Thank you very much.
This is Connie Mustang coming to you from the beautiful town of Arcadia, California. This is VONews.tv.